Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are getting ready to spray some herbicide over top of corn. And I've had a couple of requests about doing more in-depth videos on spraying, and I'll do that. But of course there'll be a disclaimer. Always follow the label and the instructions on whatever product you're using. It is the law. It is a lot of it has to do with personal safety. If it recommends protective equipment, use it, so forth, so on. Sweet corn, over top of sweet corn, we can use Bicep Magnum up to a certain point. If we got broadleaf, we can use 2,4-D. And of course, if you grow Roundup Ready corn, you can use Roundup. But I'm always cautious about recommending a certain product because some states it's labeled, some states it's not. And so we'll talk a little bit more about that in depth. I may do a couple videos on the spraying a little more in depth. But one thing we will cover right now is I use this little boom sprayer for herbicides. And the last thing I had in it was a product called Select. And I sprayed pumpkins for Johnson grass. It is a selective herbicide that is for grass. It is lethal on corn. So when I'm using the same sprayer for multiple applications, step one is getting it clean. And what I did, I sprayed all the product out so the tank's empty, and then I rinsed the tank out. I've got the plug out of the bottom of it. We're in an area, we're following all the guidelines. We're not in the creek or nothing like that. But I rinsed the tank out, and I'll be sure to get the top, sides, so forth, so on. And I'm just using clean water for this. Nothing too extravagant, okay? Next step is I'm gonna raid the wife's dishwashing detergent, whatever brand you like. This happens to be that. But I don't like using chlorine. A lot of people use chlorine. I don't like because of it's hard, it's corrosive, it's rough on seals, gaskets, various other things. But what we're going to do now that we've got it rinsed out, I'm going to fill it up with water and this, and I'm going to spray this out, some of it. I'm going to run it through all the hoses, the lines, the pump, the nozzles, the agitator, the whole bit, through the screen, everything. And then we're going to drain it again, and then we'll rinse it out, and we'll be ready to go for our next product. That's be sure to wash your cap and your screen if you got one. So that's what we're going to do right now, and then while it's filling up, I'll talk to you a little bit more about some spraying details. So hold on. Okay, we got our dish detergent in there. We're filling it up with water. But and like I said, we'll fill it all the way up. Make sure soap gets all over the inside of the barrel. We'll start the sprayer up, run through a little bit to push everything out, and then we'll drain the tank and rinse it out, and then be ready to fill it up with our whatever product we're going to use next. Now, had a question about it was in sweet corn about getting worms. Even though you're doing a spray regiment, you're still getting worms. See if I can get you guys located here somewhere, so I don't have to hold you and you won't be flopping around. So I'll tell you a story about that. A couple years ago, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I don't know whether I was doing YouTube at the time or not, but had quite a bit of cabbage out, quite a bit for us. We had probably close to 100,000 cabbages out. And I had one field that had there's about 15,000 cabbage in it, and I could not keep the worms off of it. I tried everything. I tried every spray, I tried mixes, I tried everything under the sun. Well, it finally dawned on me what was going on. And I was using the water to spray with out of a well on the property. pH was off. You can find for different products what the optimal pH of your spray water should be. And it makes a big difference if it's off bad enough. You can get the litmus strips from a pool supply store. Automotive stores actually sell them. And you can get products to adjust pH either from some of your ag chemical companies, or even, like I said, pool supply, or maybe even some of your home improvement stores. But each product has an optimum pH that it works best at. And a lot of times if that pH is off on an insecticide, it affects the toxicity of that product. Check that. Another thing with sweet corn is the silks are the key. As soon as those silks start emerging, getting product on those silks immediately and keeping it on them is the key. I know a lot of people use the BT corn. I've used it in the past. Some of it that I grow, it has got the BT, but in our area, found that the BT corn is getting less and less effective. And you know, the worms have to eat it to kill it, so the damage is already done. But getting the product on there early, during those early silk stage, and keeping it is key. Also, if you're having problems killing them, check your pH of your spray water. But that's a little bit of advice that I learned the hard way. You can go online to your extension websites, and a lot of them will have charts that'll tell you too. I will do a video on the Jatco Cannon sprayer or the Air Blast sprayer at some point. Got to do some work to that thing, and we may do it at that time and get a little more detail about it. But spraying can be a tricky thing, and when you use herbicides on crops, it can be nerve-wracking, and it can be dangerous. Just to be blunt about it. But you gotta be cautious. Take time to clean the equipment. You know, last thing you want to do is kill your crop, and I've seen it happen. And you may not kill it, but you may damage it to the point that you reduce yield and quality and all that good stuff. But like I said, we'll fill this up. We'll start the tractor, run the booms a little bit, and try to clean this out good, then rinse it out, and we'll start loading it back up. So hang on a second. Alrighty, I'm getting this washed out. I'm fixing to go. A lot of times too, I'll take the nozzles off, the nozzles and the screens in the nozzles, put them in like a water bottle, put some dishwashing detergent in there, put some water in there, put the lid on, shake them up real good, agitate them. It's a good way to clean your nozzles. But like I said, we'll do more in depth on spraying. I'm going to get this finished, washed out, get my nurse tank filled up. We may get to spray a little this evening, don't know. Just have to wait and see. But you know, there's a lot goes into spraying. I mentioned the insecticides and the pH here a minute ago. Same goes with fungicides. If pH isn't correct on fungicides, they're not as effective either. So if you're having a problem with your products working and you're applying them, you know, timely manner, rotating and everything, check your pH in your spray water. You may find that that's the problem, and it's just like the pH in your soil. Your nutrients are not available to your crops if the pH is off. Same with your pesticides. They're not effective if the pH is not in that correct range. But I hope some of that information is helpful. Like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about spraying. I have, you understand my caution for the spray recommendations and stuff, because like I said, what may be available for me may not be available for you in a different state, different area. Some products that we use are on a 24C label, which is special use label. A good example of that is Reflex and pumpkins. It's a soybean herbicide that North Carolina has a 24C label for, so that means we can use it on pumpkins. So you know, there's a lot of things go into that, but like I said, I hope that helps. We'll talk a little bit more about both the sprayers, both the Jatco and the little boom sprayer here. I've got to do some work to the Jatco. I think it's a 400 is what it is, but I've got some rust issues on it actually, and I'm gonna have to do some metal work, some patch work on it. But we'll talk a little bit more about that. But anyhow, if you like what we're doing, would like to follow along, please subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you have a question or comment, please do so. If you see a video you like, give it a thumbs up. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you guys next time. Everybody take care of yourself.